At GSA's Office of Citizen Services and Innovative Technologies, we've been working for the past 15 or 16 months on helping agencies make mobile more available for citizens. And we're talking about information and services that can be delivered to people anytime, anywhere, on any device. And we've been doing that by working on developing a community of practice where we've been working with 45, 50 different agencies throughout government and working with mobile innovators there to help accelerate and amplify what they're already doing. So what we're doing in helping in this space is trying to jumpstart agencies so that if one agency has learned some lessons, we're able to actually help share that with another agency and they could actually apply those and then accelerate their use of it. So we're doing it through cross promotion of practices. We're also doing it about getting the word out as well. We have been collecting those practices on our MobileGov Wiki, which is mobilegovwiki.howto.gov. And that's an area where we're collecting the different experiences that agencies have been having and, again, making that resource available so that we could do it faster. The biggest hurdles that we're seeing right now, we've been seeing this, as I said, we've been doing this for 16 months, and it's been an evolutionary process. And so some of the hurdles that we were seeing before, as we were thinking about mobile more holistically and kind of more from a strategic point of view, whereas we were talking about apps and building of apps, which is still important. But what we're seeing right now, what I'm seeing as the biggest hurdle, is really kind of being hampered by what we know already. And what I mean by that is we're taking a look at the services or the websites that we already have and think, well, how do we mobilize that? And what that does, while it's not unimportant, it really takes the context away by what people are trying to do. So we really have an opportunity right now in using mobile and really looking at the mobility of information to be delivering on all these different types of platforms. And so it doesn't have to be on a website, for example. It can be on a website. But there was actually some news the other day about new glasses that people are going to be able to wear where they'll be able to get information about their current scenario. So they can look over at a building and find out what that building is or information about it. And so we're delivering it in ways that we haven't even thought about before. So I think one of the hurdles we're seeing is really kind of how we're stuck thinking about what we know. And this is a very rapidly changing future. I don't know that we're actually at best practices yet, but I think we're seeing some good practices that are emerging. The most important thing that we're seeing among agencies, and just this week I think we've received 3 or 4 calls about specifically what are agencies doing in terms of creation of a policy around mobile and around mobile development. Because this is a time of really tight budgets. Yet agencies are very anxious to deliver the services in the way the citizens are looking to have it delivered to them. So they have to figure out how to do this the best way. And so agencies are taking a look at how do they have a better overview of what's going on in their agencies, as well as a process to make sure that they're spending their resources in the most effective way possible in delivering those mobile services. In the next 6 to 12 months, what we're seeing is really a shift from I have to have an app to more of a view of what does mobile mean and how am I going to deliver those services to my stakeholders and my constituent group. And so the next 6 to 12 months, what I'm looking at is people looking at the services that they have that they're already delivering and trying to figure out a way to mobilize those. And that's a smart move. It's low-hanging fruit to some degree. The next step, which is where I'm hoping there'll be overlapping in the 6 to 12 months, but kind of moving forward, is how are we going to be able to do things that we weren't able to do before? An example of that is National Park Service has an augmented reality app where you could actually go, it's called the National Mall, and you can take your phone on the mall and point it at the Washington Monument and it'll tell you what information about the monument. But it will also tell you that if you go forward, you're going to go to the Lincoln Memorial, and when you go over there, you go to the left, you're going to be able to see the Vietnam Veterans Memorial. So it really is taking the functions and the features of these devices and incorporating them into the experience that people have. And so we're really going to see In the short run, what we're seeing is people taking advantage of the current services and trying to mobilize those. But we're going to see in the future, in the not too distant future, agencies looking to see what are the capabilities and how could they create a better experience, whether it's delivering services or information to the citizens.